we riding through DeFi stream. Hoge to the future, it's more than just a dream. Community strong, as far as we see. Formed in the game.
We crypto OG, gotta go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the weekly wrap-up report. As always, this is not financial advice, just my own personal opinions for entertainment value. If you learned something, hit the like for me. I would appreciate it. I'm sorry for my appearance. I didn't feel like doing my hair today, and this wrap-up report might be all over the place, but enjoy it. It was absolutely beautiful here today, and it looks like it's going to be these amazing spring weather days we all love for the next few days. Nothing better than getting outside and getting some sunlight on your face. I got done work early yesterday, and me and my son got to play outside for like 4 hours. We were just... He was like rolling in the grass the whole time, all scratched up. We were laying in the driveway looking at the clouds and just trying to figure out what noises we were hearing. And my neighbors must have thought I was absolutely nuts. But at the same time, getting that 4-year-old energy out of the house is the best. And my son always has a special connection to Hoge for me. He was born 2 days before Hoge was created. And I see how much my son has already experienced in his life. And I'm like, damn, man. That's also what Hoge has done. Hoge has been around just as long. And it's insane the amount of things we have accomplished and built as a community. And watching him grow, I'm like... that is also watching what Hoge has grown into. And, you know, many newcomers to Hoge, if you just joined the chat or you just come into the community, you might think it's quiet at Hoge and not much is happening right now. But the ones that have been here and are the real community understand how much Hoge has done and accomplished in its own unique way over these last 4 years. Hoge is a crypto brand backed by an unchangeable smart contract that makes it scarcer and scarcer as more people start holding it and believing in it. We are in a waiting game where we hold some really good cards as a community that many meme tokens do not have. Hoge is the sleeping giant of Ethereum, and I really do believe there is a cabal out there that understand this and are just waiting for the perfect moment to absolutely shatter minds. So while it might be quiet, please understand there is a forever community here at Hoge just waiting for the moment to happen. We are not going anywhere. Most of us have been here for over 3 years, and again, constantly working, developing, having fun. But waiting for the moment to happen. Anyone can step up and bring whatever value they want to the token. Right now, To the Moon has been absolutely incredible with his content here on the X account. Hey buddy, it's really appreciated from the entire community. Thank you very much for stepping up, and your content is awesome. The videos you're making, the short stories, the comic strips, I mean, again, it's going to catch on eventually. But today we had some insane news. It's also exciting and confusing at the same time because we don't have a lot of information, but Hoge legend Lunicorp made an appearance in Hoge main Telegram today. The last anyone has spoken to him was back in September. It was like the last week of September. He signed off the wrap-up report and disappeared. Nobody heard from him. We tried to reach out. We reached out to friends of his. Like we obviously, me and Collab talked to him every day for 3 years. Literally talked to that guy every day for 3 years. As you know, he was my co-host here for a very long time on the wrap-up report. Really, really, really good friend. And you know, literally just we thought the worst. We did not know what happened. And again, nothing is clear yet. He just came back, said a few things in Hoge main, but that's a really, really good sign that he's okay. And, you know, we miss you, brother. Glad you're back. Thank you for, you know, at least stopping by. And I'm looking forward to catching up with you. But let's get into the news. The last 5 years of trading have had numerous once-in-a-lifetime events. Obviously, for example, 2020, COVID crashed the market, falling 24%. In 2021, U.S. Capitol protests, GameStop, AMC, and other buy buttons were removed from the market as retail got the grasp on the hedge funds who had shorted GameStop at over 130%. In 2022, the Ukraine-Russian war started. Global inflation surged everywhere. Money printing was happening on a global scale, and FTX collapsed. I know, right? It was only 3 years ago. FTX feels like it was like a decade ago, but it was in 2022. In 2023, Silicon Valley Bank collapsed. Signature Bank collapsed. The First Republic Bank collapsed. We had the Israel and Hamas conflict. In 2024, the China stock market crashed, falling 26%. The yen carry trade unwind, leading to the third highest VIX. The Tokyo stock market crashed, falling 12.5% in one day. And here in 2025, the Trump tariff trade conflict, leading to the worst drop ever in the Dow. The NASDAQ is down 11%, and the SPY is down 17% year to date. So again, in 5 years, we have had all of these once-in-a-lifetime events that used to happen in markets once a decade. Oh, man. Bitcoin, the network just broke 1 sextillion hashes for the first time in history. That is 1,000 million, or a 1 with 21 zeros behind it. That is how strong the network is. So once you understand Bitcoin is backed by the strongest computing system ever invented, and it's only getting stronger. Bitcoin will reach $10 million per coin if it simply doesn't break. And unlike an iPhone or a new app, it's not fragile. Bitcoin is nuclear-grade technology, hardened, resilient, and nearly impossible to stop. Remember, when gold prices rise, producers are incentivized to dig more up. Supply will go up, bringing price down to the equilibrium. When Bitcoin price rises, the supply won't change at all. There is no equilibrium for Bitcoin. This is why you never need to worry about gold outperforming Bitcoin over the long term. There are 117 pro-Bitcoin bills in 2025 for the U.S. government. The USA is the most pro-Bitcoin nation in the world, and there is no second best. Oklahoma, sadly, strategic Bitcoin reserve bills failed to pass the committee. So, sadly, Oklahoma will not be getting a Bitcoin strategy as of right now. Bitcoin in companies has increased by 16% in Q1 of 2025, according to Bitwise. So I love Bitwise. Bitwise is a Bitcoin ETF, and they post their wallet publicly, so you can see how much they hold and where their Bitcoin is. So that's pretty cool. But they tracked Bitcoin held by companies, and just in Q1 of this year, it's increased by 16%. McDonald's rejects their shareholder proposal to add Bitcoin to their treasury. This will go down as a huge historic mistake. So McDonald's, Microsoft, a lot of boards are passing. Bhutan's Bitcoin holdings are now worth 30% of the national GDP. So as their Bitcoin position grows, it is taking over their entire GDP. They're doubling the wealth of their country. Well, right now they 1/3 it, which is pretty cool. But let's talk about the absolute game changer that was announced this week, developing in the background, or actually right in front of you if you're right in front of you if you're paying attention to what is being said. But Van Eck released a breakdown of how BitBonds could work, and it's absolutely genius. BitBonds is elegant and simplistic. So the U.S. government, there's two parts to the bond. the U.S. government and the bondholder. So the U.S. government, they need to refinance $14 trillion of debt over the next 3 years. Interest rates right now are relatively high versus the history, and they must maintain continued investor demand for bonds. And the bond investor problem, they need protection from dollar inflation. So if they're buying the dollar from holding it for 10 years and the government's going to continue to just print it, they're not going to have any real return. They need the bond investor demands protection from asset inflation, and they seek upside beyond the risk-free rate. So the BitBond strategy fixes both sides. So the U.S. government would offer a 90% government bond plus 10% in Bitcoin, purchased with the proceeds of the sale. So this sale value would equal $100 to the government, and $100 they would buy $90 and $10 in Bitcoin value. The investor receives all Bitcoin gains up until a maximum annualized year return of 4.5% on the purchased value of the whole bond. So if Bitcoin gains exceeds enough to provide the 4.5 to the investor, the government and the BitBond investor will split the remaining gains 50-50. So the bond investor is guaranteed their normal bond rate of 4.5% over 10 years, yet they're adding the Bitcoin element. So the upside, if Bitcoin performs really well, they could end up with a 20% return if Bitcoin were to go that high, with very minimal downside. Their downside is 4.5%. But anything over that 4.5%, the government and the BitBond holder split. So the percentages could be crazy, because if they just continue to roll the debt in the same thing and they increase the 10% of Bitcoin to 20 to 30 to 40, I mean, how does that not work? Who doesn't want that deal? Especially the investors that buy bonds and have been getting absolutely slaughtered over the last 4 years. Bitcoin has returned an average of 60% over the last 4 years. 4.5% is a guarantee with a constant bid by the world's debt. Bitcoin is being set up to be the foundation of the entire new financial system runs off. No country has control of it. It is truly global asset that has the same properties for every single person in the world that buys it. No one gets special privilege over someone else in the Bitcoin network. It is a protocol level technology that we can actively invest in, and that is actually provably scarce. We are so early. Former PayPal CEO says Bitcoin will leapfrog all networks for money in 2025. If you're a dev, you won't even consider building on something else. And which company is most set up to maximize any growth that happens to Bitcoin? The stock of stocks. Strategy, MSTR. Michael Saylor being on Yahoo Finance this week. There's a revolution in the global capital markets, and traditional finance operates 19% of the time for 10% of the world. That makes it a 2% solution. Bitcoin is a 100% solution. So did you follow the math there? The traditional finance operates 19% of the time because the stock market is only operational from 9:30 to 4:30 Monday through Friday. And 88% of the stock market is held by the top 10% of Americans. So when they say traditional finance operates 19% of the time for 10% of the world, that makes it a 2% solution. And Bitcoin is 24/7 with no middleman to tell you no that anyone can operate. So it is a 100% solution. On Monday, Strategy acquired 3,459 Bitcoin for $285 million at a price of $82,600 per Bitcoin. And they have achieved a Bitcoin yield of 11.4% year to date and hold 531,644 Bitcoin. Holy guacamole sauce, Batman. 531,644 Bitcoin. And we can invest in this company at a 1.7 times a multiple. Are you kidding me? Costco trades at 55 times its multiple. Just know that. For the first time, NVIDIA's AI supercomputers will be built entirely in the US, working with leading manufacturing partners to design and build factories. Production has also started for NVIDIA's Blackwell chips at the TSMC's chip plant in Arizona. Tesla outsold the next 10 EV brands combined in Q1 of 2025. Tesla remains far ahead of the competition, selling 128,000 EVs, more than the next 10 brands combined. Overall EV sales in the US grew to nearly 300,000 units, with Tesla driving the momentum forward. And in AI news, Grok 3 Mini made AI history 100% on hardcore reasoning tests. Grok 3 Mini pulled off what no other model has. It aced every question on one of the toughest reasoning benchmarks out there. The test, a custom logic gauntlet packed with curveballs. 120 out of 120 on the Marcus problem, which is full of shuffled sentences meant to trip up inference. 24 out of 24 on the Alice Plus problem, which is designed with irrelevant noise to throw models off course. 24 out of 24 on high difficulty mix challenges, where even GPT 4.5 and Gemini 2.5 Pro slip. No guessing, no trivia, just pure distraction-proof reasoning. Grok 3 Mini nailed it. It's getting pretty wild. People were saying like inference can be fooled. Maybe not. Binance and KuCoin both go down due to Amazon Web Service data center outage. So I don't use either of those, but I heard they both went down for a couple hours because of Amazon Web Service outage. So, clearly that can happen, and we all know internet computer protocols out there where that can happen. So I'm just joking. It's crazy how low internet computer protocol has gone. I love that token. I still hold it. I'm not selling it. I love it, but it's having a rough moment. Trump border patrol's new zero tolerance policy just crushed Mexican cartels. $1.2 billion in cash was seized just this month, the biggest cash bust in border patrol history. Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, gave us a credit card update. There are twice as many credit cards are issued and active than the total number of government employees. It's pretty crazy. The program to audit unused, unneeded credit cards has been expanded to 30 agencies, and after 7 weeks, 470,000 cards have been deactivated. As a reminder, at the start of the audit, there were 4.6 million active card accounts, so there's still work to do. In super sad news, if you watch the Robert F. Kennedy press conference on autism, I mean, that was some of the saddest stuff. I was crying driving. I'm not going to lie to you. It's insane. Like I talked about my son earlier today. Just in his class alone, he has 2 young boys his age that are, slow and going to have a tough time learning. And it's, no one deserves to deal with that ever. Like, having a kid is the most beautiful, genuine, most exciting thing you can do, and to have it taken from you, but it's by something that's out of your control. Hopefully that the goal is they're going to get to the bottom of this, but these numbers are quite shocking. The Robert F. Kennedy announced the latest autism rates in 8-year-old children. 1 in 36 have autism. 1 in 20 boys have autism. 1 in 12.5 boys in California have autism. California has the strictest vaccination laws in the country. Make of that what you will. 1 in 12.5 boys in California have autism. It is super sad. But Robert F. Kennedy promised by September, hopefully we will have an exact idea what is causing this and get to the bottom of it, because it is an epidemic and it needs to be talked about. The point they make, so many people will not watch that video, but the point they made is autism is visual. It is in your face. It doesn't go away. There is no ignoring it. It is like, if you're someone that has to deal with a family member or a friend that has it, you understand it. You understand what your life has changed forever, and it's not your fault, but it is. So having it happen to so many people now, we need to understand where it's coming from. And hopefully, that's why I voted for Trump, to get Robert F. Kennedy into this position. And I'm excited, that maybe we'll get some answers. But also with the health services, the Program Support Center, the PSC, which has a budget of $215 billion a year, or $860 million a business day in grant payments. When those payments are made, if the grantee is directly drawing, no document, receipt, or explanation is required. They just received the money. If the agency is approving, there is no justification or documentation required. So $860 million a business day was going out with absolutely no documentation, receipt, or explanation required. Oh my God. So starting this week, thanks to Doge, grantees who are drawing money from that account must include a brief description of what the money will be used for. Agencies who are approving must include a brief justification of what the money will be used for and why they are approving it. So again, we are bringing simple, common sense stuff to government. World news: Somalia grants Starlink the license to operate nationwide. Somalia's National Communications Authority has officially licensed Starlink to begin offering satellite internet services across the country. At a ceremony, I'm never going to try that, Mogadishu, Starlink representatives confirmed that the service will soon be available nationwide, helping expand internet access to remote regions. So, again, you give people education by giving them access to the internet. And you can change thousands, millions of lives in Somalia. Sorry if I said that wrong. And last thing that I thought I had to include, because what if? We love the what if on this show. Astronomers claim to have found the strongest indication of life beyond our solar system on a planet 124 light years from Earth called K2-18b. The astronomers detected potential biosignatures that are typically produced by living organisms such as marine algae. Aliens are out there, we just gotta find them. But that is all I got. Have a fun, safe week. Have a nice Easter if you celebrate. And I'll see you in the chats. Peace.